The Apple Intelligent launch did not go as well as it should have. What happened and what can we learn from the launch of this AI product? Welcome back to the channel, AI Insights and Innovation, the one place where you can go to understand how to make AI work for your enterprise. I'm David Linthicum, author, speaker, B-list geek, and analyst with theCUBE Research. I'm a 35-plus year career. I've spent over 20 years of my career as a chief technology officer charged with bringing cutting-edge technology to market. I've seen great launches and, let's say, some not so great. So when Apple stumbled with this announcement of Apple Intelligence, their new artificial intelligence platform, I knew this was something worth discussing. For a company that's built its reputation on delivering polished, market-ready products, Apple dropped the ball on this one. From releasing something that wasn't ready to go, to poor messaging, and even embarrassing functionality flaws, like prioritizing scam messages and giving incorrect message summaries, the launch of Apple Intelligence is a perfect case study in how not to launch a technology product. Today, I'm going to break down what went wrong, the key mistakes Apple made, and the lessons other companies can and should learn from this debacle. So let's start with a quick recap of what happened. Apple announced Apple Intelligence as part of their push into AI. The goal was to compete with established players like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Bard, and Microsoft's Copilot. Apple promised AI integrated deeply into its ecosystem, something that could make life easier for users across the iPhone, Mac, and other devices. The original plan was to debut Apple Intelligence alongside the launch of iPhone 16. However, the release was riddled with confusion and delays with features that were either underdeveloped or outright broken. Worse, the demonstration failed to show how this AI was different or better than its competitors. This wasn't just a marketing problem, it was a product problem. Reports emerged of Apple Intelligence prioritizing scam messages, summarizing conversations inaccurately, and at times struggling to even identify useful highlights for users. For a platform that was supposed to revolutionize their productivity and user experience, it left a lot to be desired. So let's talk about some of the mistakes that Apple made. Mistake one was launching an incomplete product. As someone who spent decades developing and launching technology product, here's the first thing I can tell you: don't launch something until it's ready. Apple Intelligence was riddled with problems that should have been addressed long before the announcements were made. Here are some examples. Prioritizing scam messages. Instead of helping users sort through important communications from spam, Apple Intelligence actually prioritized scam and phishing attempts in demonstrations. In one case, a malicious email bypassed filters and was flagged as a high priority. That's not just a functional flaw, it creates a massive trust issue for users. Inaccurate message summaries. One of the platform's key features is supposed to be the ability to summarize long threads of emails or text messages, but in demos, summaries were often incorrect or even misleading. For example, one test showed the AI summarizing an email, canceling a meeting as if it were confirming the meeting, a mistake that could lead to embarrassing or costly miscommunications. Basic utility wasn't there. Beyond these critical flaws, Apple Intelligence didn't demonstrate any standout features or unique capabilities that would make it worth waiting for. When you look at the competitors like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft, they're each delivered AI tools that feel polished and powerful enough to make an immediate impact on users' workflows. Apple, it felt like they hadn't figured out how their AI would differentiate themselves to the market. The key lesson here is simple. If your product isn't ready, don't release it. In my years as CTO, I've seen firsthand how rushing an incomplete product to market can damage a company's reputation, even ones as strong as Apple's. Next, mistake two, poor communications and vision. Apple's second big mistake was failing to clearly communicate what Apple Intelligence is and why users should care about it. Think about this. When OpenAI launched ChatGPT, users instantly understood its value. It could write essays, summarize content, generate ideas, and even hold coherent conversations. Google Bard and Microsoft Copilot also showed immediate, tangible use cases like writing emails, enhancing productivity, and automating tedious tasks. But Apple Intelligence was it was unclear from the start. Was it meant to be Siri upgrade or a productivity tool, a business assistant? Apple didn't define a clear vision, and that lack of focus both left customers and developers confused. What made matters worse was how the release was tied to the iPhone 16. Initially, Apple planned to ship the AI alongside the iPhone, but it wasn't ready. Instead of making the platform feel revolutionary, the failed timing and communications made it feel like an afterthought. Or worse, like Apple was scrambling to keep up in the AI race. They were already losing. For any tech launch, a crystal clear value proposition is everything. Customers want to know what the product does, how it benefits them, and why it's better than the alternatives. Apple's failure to deliver on this front left the marketplace and even some of their most loyal customers scratching their heads. And the final mistake, bad timing. Timing is everything in product launches, and Apple in this case completely misfired. Apple Intelligence was originally supposed to debut alongside the iPhone 16 as a headlining feature. The idea was to position the AI platform as a cornerstone of the new iPhone experience, something to set the device apart from its competitors. But here's the thing: Apple Intelligence wasn't ready, and tying an incomplete product to a major hardware launch like iPhone 16 only created confusion. What ended up happening is that Apple Intelligence became invisible. The iPhone 16 launch focused primarily on updates to hardware and design because that's what people could actually buy. Meanwhile, the AI announcement felt more like a side note, especially since its most ambitious features weren't available yet. The lessons here are clear. Let your product have its moment. Artificial intelligence is such a game changing technology that it deserves a launch event of its own. When you attach it to a hardware release, the product doesn't shine, and you risk disappointing everyone when it's not delivered as promised. So here's the question: what can other companies learn from Apple's mistakes with Apple Intelligence? Based on over 20 years of experience as a CTO, when I was responsible for successfully bringing technology to market, here are three critical lessons. Launch only when the product is polished. Apple's intelligence flaws, like prioritizing scam messages and giving inaccurate summaries, could have been caught with more rigorous testing. Rushed releases only hurt your brand and consumer trust. Communicate clearly and directly. Don't assume people will automatically get it. Tell them what your product does, how it helps, and why it's better. And don't rely on vague promises to carry the weight of your launch. Get your timing right. If your product isn't ready, delay the launch. And when you do launch, give your product the attention it deserves with focused, standalone messaging. Now, let's be clear, Apple isn't finished. They've stumbled before. Anyone can remember Apple's Maps fiasco, and they've always recovered. But in short term, Apple Intelligence flawed rollout has damaged their reputation for delivering perfect, user-friendly products right out of the gate. Whether they iron out this or let competitors like OpenAI and Google outpace them in the AI space is the real question. So there you have it. Apple Intelligence may have been a misstep, but it's also a powerful lesson on how even the biggest players in tech can fumble major launches. As someone who spent decades launching technology products, I can tell you this: every failure creates an opportunity to learn and adapt. So what are your thoughts on Apple Intelligence? Will Apple bounce back, or are they falling behind in the AI race? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time for more insights into the cutting edge tech and innovation of AI. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.